And we are live. All right. Hello, welcome. My name is Zach. I'm with the Tax City Tech Department. I got Garrett and Kevin here in the background. They're going to be helping guests around. If you have any questions today, go ahead and just leave a message or even email us at taxcitytech at taxcityairsoft.com. So today I got a cool build for you guys. Today I'm going to be building this Polarstar jack, giving Garrett a break from the live stream. We're going to be putting a jack inside this Boneyard G&G gearbox that we have here. So it's a pretty simple build, pretty easy. Just going over the pointers of what I do to Polarstar build mainly. What's this? Oh, and we're also going to be installing a amp line with this jack.
That's honestly, if there's one thing you're going to do to a jack, it should be a speed trigger. But honestly, this thing is also really cool because it removes the need for you to need to use a nipple, QD nipple that fits on the macro line right here. Because these can pop off over time. This line gets hard, and then it just sticks less and less. So this removes the need for that entirely. It'll last longer than your solenoids, honestly.
Thank you, Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were taking a break today.
I guess. I'll be here, though.
You'll be here answering questions when I'll
be reading the chat.
What I like about amp lines, they come with this tool to help you screw it in. What I don't like is they're not the same as this thread, so I got to use pliers to get it off, which I don't like because I can scratch.
No, it should work.
It should work, but I don't like scratching the jack. That's true. That's personally me. Personally me. Other people won't care. Me, I don't like scratching my guns. So, what? One thing I like to do is also plumber tape. Plumber's tape creates a seal around. So I don't do that much. I just do enough to cover it at least one layer because I find it to be the perfect amount. I try not to cover the hole. I try to open it as much as possible. So take a little bit and just open up that hole because that's where the air is going to go through. Just wrap it, and wrap it. So right now I just, right here, I insert and get the threads caught, tighten it as much as possible I can right here until I can't tighten it no more. I take my little wrench that Amp Airsoft, thank you Amp Airsoft, gives me and tighten it until I almost can't tighten it no more. Don't want to tighten it too much because then I could break it. There we go. Yeah. Well, customer works here. Yeah. So what I like about these is they're very flexible, very strong. Compared to this, like issues I've had with these was, say I have this in, and I'll be like running around, all that stuff, and then I'll catch something, and instead of the line coming disconnected, it would just pop, and then air is flowing out, and I have to catch that line, and it's like a fire hose. With these are like very strong. It'll tug you. They last almost forever. So right now we're going to do a test fit inside the gearbox. I'm going to move the top shell away. And this is before I put all my components in, just in case I have to shave, grind, or anything in the gearbox. I double check. Most people would put their top shell back on to see if it gets like a good seal, which you have to hold it down tight, but it does. It doesn't move. I also check where my main pinholes go, like where I'm going to be punching through. I don't want this line to be in the way when, like, say, if I have to put it in the center pin. So we're good right now. We don't have to file. We don't have to drill. We don't have to do any of that, which is good. Let me take this out and put it to the side because right now we're going to be focusing on the board. So before I install the board, I take a paper towel, and where the board goes, I try to clean it up because I don't want any like old oil or any residue to get on this board. Keep it clean as possible. Look over here. Do a little bit over here so it doesn't get caked up. And then I go on the other side. the same. Let's clean it up. It's like installing a MOSFET. You always want to clean these. You agree with me on this one, Garrett?
I wouldn't say it's necessary, but it's definitely good practice.
All right. So
especially if there's any like debris and stuff in there. I can foresee a scenario where you can get some bull crap interfering with your micro switch and cause it to break a little bit faster, especially with the trigger. Considering we work here at Tax City, everybody who owns a Polarstar jack, you know, flip a coin 9 times out of 10. They're gonna want a speed trigger in there as well.
So on this build, and we're live streaming.
That was our field manager, Ward, making a what is that?
What kind of animal is that?
I'm trying to think. I think that's
it's a wild ward animal.
Very funny name for a monkey in mind.
We're just gonna call it a monkey.
Chimpanzee.
What are the ones with the throats that expand off?
I like
monkey, no.
I like how we're talking about monkeys like in the middle of a tech stream.
sorry, stream.
Yeah, it's that easy to derail us.
So one thing also is before I install this board right here, I always check to see if my buttons are responding. Here, like I double check to see if like my button presses. Same with this side. If there's no mush or anything, like if I could press it and it comes back up, we're good, pretty much. If it doesn't go down, or if it like gets stuck somewhere, or if it doesn't come back up, that's a case of a dead micro switch. Which we know a buddy who actually mods these, but we're not going to attempt it at all.
No,
because it's
that's outside of our wheelhouse. It was a given, by the way.
It was given.
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 That's the kind of monkey. GIDVON.
Oh my god! Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're pretty cool. So before I screw everything down, I like to pre-install my wires because it gets pretty tight, especially on switches. Unless you're using a black leaf likes to keep all this stuff in the back, which is what I like.
Yeah, but I don't prefer the black leaves, to be honest, because
they burn out way too.
Yeah, quick. They seem kind of like
they're cool if you're doing an ESG build. If you're doing an ESG build, do it
until it burns out, and you have to open the ESG build to replace the board again. So
pretty much,
I can't really recommend them, unfortunately, just from what we've seen.
It's like the Gorilla FCU also.
Yeah, honestly, same thing. Factory parts are usually going to be the best.
So
the trigger board is not going to last forever as well.
Well, the Polarstar one is pretty strong.
Yeah, but I mean, after a couple years of ownership, the Fusion engine one's different, but I have had to replace that one.
I had to replace a lot of Fusion engines throughout my day, especially my ESG. So right now, what I'm doing is basically seeing where I'm going to route my wire and see if I can get it away from like where the main holes I'm going to go to. So I understand like, hey, this is how I'm putting it in. So right there, I'm going to take my jack. And a lot of people get confused on this part when installing a jack. The main line of connection you always got to do, especially in version 2, is J2. J2 is gonna be your main connection. A lot of people think it's J3. It'll still act the same. It's just kind of for me, it's acted the same, but it almost
for a Fusion engine or a jack.
Jack. It's kind of weird, but I always go with J2. I actually don't know exactly because I've plugged it into J3 before and my jack was working fine.
You sure you didn't have the Fusion engine setting on? Whatever. I don't want to neg you while you're on live stream.
Yeah, I'm just like now I'm thinking what settings did I have again? Oh, we got one viewer. Welcome. We got one like.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude? Any questions you got for us, just go ahead and let us know. Or email us at taxcitytech@taxcity.com, right?
Tax City Airsoft.
Taxcityairsoft.com. Sorry about that. So now I'm gonna install my jack. See where my line is. Put this through. I have room right there, so I'm gonna try to go with wires in one area. In my personal build, I did use cable ties to tie up my wires like around each other. A lot of people like to take this wire right here that's connected to your solenoid and wrap it around the line. I don't like that personally because if your line gets caught, that means your wire's getting caught. So I try to leave it as freely as possible and just connect these two right here. I've seen dudes like make a little joint right here where they can like tie it down or drill a hole. But
That's a little unnecessary.
that's a little unnecessary, but I'm not going to do it.
Usually, if you just are conscious of how you're handling the wires before you get the gearbox back together, it'll be fine.
So now I'm going to take the screw and just screw it into screwed in the board to the gearbox. So now it's the full complete cycle. And before I start tidying everything up and all that, I'd rather get the trigger in right now. So we're going to be using a stock trigger for now. This is from our boneyard. This is more of a boneyard build because we're out of speed triggers right now. But so I do this little mod on my triggers, especially if I'm using a stock trigger. Is I put a little bit of duct tape at the end, like a little cushion. It makes the longevity on your button last a little bit longer, and all of that gives it a little bit of a shorter pull. So you can still spam it, but you still have that pull. Something I like to do, something that a lot of people have passed that down to me that seems to be working longer than just metal on that. And I'm going to get my trigger spring in.
I think the first time I heard about that trick, a lot of people use bicycle inner tubing.
Yes, or electrical tape was a popular one. A lot of people don't like putting in their trigger spring, too. And what they do is they put electrical tape behind with paper on both ends. And it's like the first speed triggers back then, where your trigger would be like all the way right here. And you used to just tap, 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 and you get side fire, all that stuff. It was a really bad time back then.
I feel like you can't quite get away with that with jacks and F2s because of the actual micro switch in there. The spring's a little bit weaker than on a fusion engine.
I feel like in a fusion engine, it's more doable because it's an actual button.
Well, the spring is a bit stronger as well.
But
and there's that tactile, yeah. So
I mean, on a build I just did here with the speed trigger and all that, I was able to tune it to be almost side fire. But with jacks, it's very difficult to get the side firing action.
Well,
we're not allowed to use it here, but
yeah, it's not. It's kind of a safety issue if you're going that tight with your trigger. It's something that we really don't tend to spend too much time on because we don't allow it to. So,
but I'll tune it to the point where it's like just good enough for you to use, but you can't side fire. But I always check if I can side fire or not.
So you're saying you're not trying to get the customers picked up?
No, I'm not trying to give them side fire.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say like I give them enough where it's not it, but it feels nice. You can still do this, but you can't do this.
It's a little bit easier to do when you just have a speed trigger, you know.
There we go. I wish we had speed triggers. I would have thrown one in here. So now I'm going to start wiring. What I like about the G&G gearboxes itself, like the G2s especially, is they have this wiring route right here on the side here for the back. And this is why I chose this gearbox over like a Lancer or a Crytek or just in general any other version 2 gearboxes, is because of this part. Because this is what's going to save your life when building a Polarstar, is wire management. I like this little bracket they come with, and just make it a little tighter. There you go. You don't got to touch it. Most Polarstar builds, you got to like hold it sideways or that stuff just to get it working. It's easy to like keep it down, especially when I start getting to the point of installing the jack down here. Keeps it all out of the way for the jack to fit. Now, the last thing we need to do before we close this up is we need to put in the spring plug, but this one looks different from others. So this was a boneyard gun. We didn't have the spring plug for this, which is proprietary on G&Gs, but we had an old Combat Raider spring plug for their non-quick change gearboxes. And it fits the diameters, but it does not work with the quick change. So what I did was, for it not to move around when installing the stock, I wrapped it with duct tape until I felt good, until it's snug. Didn't really hit the solenoid. It only hit a little bit, like near the wire part. But I need room so that I can put it in there, and it all goes in good. It's nice and snug. It won't move around, and it's easy to put on whatever stock you want. Stubby, crane stock, no stock, whatever you want. I do it to all my builds. I always do this. A lot of people like to put springs. Always tell people no springs. Don't do springs because you're putting the back of this. And what happens is, like, it'll start ripping wires and stuff that we don't want to get involved with. So now we're at the point of our initial close. Kevin, leave?
Oh, you missed Mario?
Yeah, I missed Kevin already. I wish there was more people in the chat to be like, oh, we miss Kevin too. Rip. Kevin,
You should.
yeah. Kevin's not feeling well today.
Poor guy.
He got sicky. I think I gave it to him though because I was sick last week.
Didn't you tell me it was just allergies?
Well, yeah, allergies, but now I think about it, I was like, I think I was sick last week. I was kind of moody last week, that's why. Ooh. This amp line is very, very, very tough. And I'm trying to go through this without drilling because then it's going to take a little bit longer. But honestly, it's not like an AEG where you don't have to worry about being too tight. The Polarstar, you could be tight on it because it's mainly air being pushed through. But I want to keep it tight so then when I do install it into the body, the alignment is basically even. Ooh. I'm at 18 minutes already. Look at that. I got 12 minutes left. I remember when I first started building, it used to take me like 2 hours to do these builds. Like 2 hours just to install, figure out all that stuff. Because I wasn't really like in a professional setting. I would just grab whatever was near me. All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Kevin.
We were just talking about you.
Yeah, we were like, we miss Kevin.
How's the stream going?
Pretty good.
Oh,
We got
dude.
one viewer right
That's
now.
so live. Showing all your dirty secrets.
So we got two FCUs here. This is one that this is a newer FCU. This is what I do here. I like to tuck the wire, wrap it here through the back, because then it just makes it a one-way connection when it's in your stock. Your main FCU wire connects here, and then all you have to do is plug in your battery.
I hate that.
Why? Why do you hate that?
You see it? Okay, I've seen it done where people just put tape over the screen and it's really annoying. That's
I try not to get it over the screen so I can still see a
Oh,
little
wait.
bit. I like to do it. I can still see the screen, so if I do need to adjust my settings, I can still look at it. And it's easier because you just pull it out all at once instead of like it getting stuck in your stock and all that, and you got to pull somewhere else. This is an older FCU. This is wow. This one is like old. If you go, can you grab me a stop stock? Okay. So right now we're going to do an initial test to see if I did a good job. If the trigger is working, it will make a little click when you pull the trigger, which I am getting it.
Audio. Quiet.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I'm going to plug air in it in a sec.
And guys, all you Polarstar owners out there, 14-year-old kids, moms bought you a brand new Polarstar. You come to Shooter Rentals in Tax City with. Do not fire your Polarstar with a battery plugged in if you do not have a line plugged in. If you do it a little bit like you did just now, that's fine. But it is bad for your solenoid to not have any kind of air going through it while you're activating it with the trigger.
It's okay to like do it for initial tests. You see how I'm not like spamming it or playing around with it. I'm just quick 1, 2. That's all you need to do. Now with jacks, it's pretty different. So most FCUs, when they come stock with your gun, you're gonna have this. You're gonna have this setting right here, and it's gonna be your FC, and sometimes it will be set to FE. When it's set to FE, that means it's set for fusion engine. What you want to do is just go down to F1 because F1s and jacks use only single solenoids, not like the F2 or the FE where they use dual solenoids. If that makes sense. A lot of people get mixed up on that. They'll come here the most about that setting the most. Next to semi-locking and all that. Semi-locking is pretty easy. I can also show you how to do that later, but my main concern right now is doing the initial test to make sure air's flowing through it right, there's no leaks in the amp line, nothing like that. Which I should have done it when it was out of the gun, but
yeah, whatever.
But I got it pretty good, so my guess is going to be first thing. No leaks. Now let's see. Hey, heads up, we're live streaming.
No fouling.
Okay, I won't.
You guys busy?
I might be.
So I put my mag in here so I can for you.
Is it not feeding?
No, it doesn't hold.
Is that an original GMP body?
Yes.
So now I'm getting a nozzle feed. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but the nozzle is moving, all that stuff. Gun sounds healthy. Trigger's moving it. Pushing out air, so it feels great. So I'm looking through here to see if all my holes are cleared. I'm good to install this in a gun.
Nothing.
A lot of forums here, a lot of people will just drop it in random guns.
so.
I like to keep my gearboxes with the body I'm going to be using.
Right
So for
But I'm
instance,
pretty sure that's
since
not
this is a
good.
G&G gearbox, I want to drop it in
Oh,
a
and-
G&G body because they're already aligned with the gearbox, so you don't have to do a lot of alignment with it. So yeah, everything looks good. We are at 23, coming up on 24 minutes, so our time's almost up here. So I think I'm going to show you guys how to semi-lock this real quick. So it's fairly simple. You're going to have this setting called S1 and S2. So S1 is your main setting for full auto. I'm going to simulate it with this micro switch. Don't do this, but I'm doing it for now.
What about my gun?
I got you, Garrett.
Better.
Point farming.
Oh, that one.
You're in third place. So
Some guy's an absolute monster out there, bro.
So for you guys to hear that's in full auto, I can show you right now.
Some guy's like almost double me.
So here we go.
Guys, just a heads up. Now at Tax City, we're selling skirmish wristbands, which means you get a wristband with a little number on the back. You create an account on play.skirmesh, that's skirmesh.net. Make your account, record that cool little number on the back, and then you'll be able to track your objective score here at Tax City when we're playing our skirmish games, where you're going to check in with those electronic wristbands. And now we're going to be giving away prizes for people who are doing well daily, weekly, monthly, stuff like that. We've got a lot of stuff planned.
Thinking
So
about
if
it,
you want to be
and I
number
was
one
like,
at
damn,
Tax City on the
it's gonna suck
leaderboard,
if this is
skirmishers.
all fixed, and then I come into play, and it's all good.
What's up, boss?
Are you guys able to take off the orange tip?
No. So we are not allowed to take off orange chips. That's kind of illegal for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, since we're a place that sells airsoft guns.
Also, your thing is backwards.
It's really the thought that counts, man.
Yeah, I know.
That's screwed up.
Appreciate it.
Oh wait, no, it's not lit. That's weird.
It looked like backwards.
But yeah, so the gun has already settings on it for this because I pulled this off another jack build that I did. So I'm just going to show real quick how to semi-lock, which is you're going to go to your S1 and your S2. S2 has 0, 0. I'm just going to set it to 1 and make sure my S1 is at 1 also.
I have a bad idea.
And my rate of fire right now is at 35. That's how you also adjust your rate of fire.
Because I'm probably
And
gonna.
then from there,
Thank you, man.
I'm going to plug this back in. We're going to push this switch down and should be only semi. All right. So that pretty much does it for this build. 90% of the time after this, we'll drop it in a body and we'll go over alignment. I think I'm going to save this for next time when for our next stream because we only got like 4 minutes left. So right now, I think I'm going to have my manager, Kevin, help me out with promotions on like stuff that's coming up. Kevin? Wait, Kevin. So what events do we have coming up at TAC right now?
We've got an e-bike appreciation day on May 6th and then Speak to Be the day after that. So,
You said May 6th, EVIC Appreciation. That's Saturday, May 6th.
yes. Please pre-register now because
We recommend pre-registering. It's going to help you get your place. We're going to have a couple people here too. We're going to be giving away prizes. The first 50 people here get a goodie bag, right?
Yeah.
For both sessions. Me and Kevin are going to be here, so you can also stop on by, say what's up to us and all that. We wouldn't mind downgrading your gun too while we're at it. We have Speak EV the next day, so we have a Speak EV tournament going on that Sunday, which you can register on Speak EV's site, right?
Yeah.
You register on Speak EV's site with your team and all that, and they'll get you set up on the polls and all that. Anything else, Kevin? Pretty much it. Wait, don't we have Tactical League this Sunday?
I believe that's the thing as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think this Sunday we have Tactical League. I want to confirm that first before we do it. April. Hold on, let me go look at that logo real quick. Yeah, 30th. Okay, so on April 30th, we have Tactical League coming up also, which you can buy your tickets. A lot of people are saying do it, and we are running scrimmage for that. If you don't know what scrimmage is, it's basically wristband objective-based gameplay. Garrett right now is obsessed with it. I haven't played it personally because I haven't played in a while. I'm probably going to try it out tomorrow. I heard it's really, really fun. But we have Tactical League. I say pre-register for that one for sure. We're going to have like all the Milson dudes here. But if you guys have any questions, go ahead and email us at taxcitytech@taxcityairsoft.com. If you guys need anything, come on upstairs. Me and Kevin are always here. And I think I'm going to end the stream here. Is there anything else you want to add, Kevin? No? All right. I hope this video this stream was very useful on how to basically do your Polarstar jack builds. I'll talk to you guys later. Again, it's me, Zach, and I'm signing off. Peace out.